So welcome to part 2 of the video. So in the last video we made our frosting, so the cake portion is almost finished. As you can see, I have put this chocolate color yarn inside my cake box, and now we are going to work on that lid of our cake box. So I have already made our lid. So we are going to take that plastic canvas and measure if the lid is proper, or you can also place it on top of your cake box and check. And then we are going to work on the sides of our lid. So make sure when you're working on your lid, you do not work with double crochet, you work with single crochet. So I've made almost a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. I made total of 11 rows, and look how solid this is. So in every row I have made an increase. So it depends on the number of rows. So for example, if in the first row I have made an increase of, after making one single double crochet, in row 2 after making 2 single double crochet I've made an increase, then 3 single double crochet, then increase, then 4 single double crochet increase, 5 single double crochet, then increase, 6 single double crochet, then increase, 8 single double crochet, 7 single double crochet increase, 8 single double crochet increase, 9 single double crochet increase, 10 single double crochet and increase. So just the way we did on the bottom portion of our cake, the same we made an increase on the lid, if you're familiar with how to make a magic circle. So now that we are totally done with our flat lid, we will take that plastic canvas and we'll check. But before that, we will work on the sides. So to work on the side, what we'll do is we will simply go inside that last loop, not the entire loop but the last loop of our circle, and we'll make single crochet. So if you want, you can put a stitch marker there so that you keep track. So make sure to put your stitch marker and then work on the last loop of your circle, last row. So go inside that last loop if it's quite visible. So like that, keep working on those last loop. Make sure to go in that last loop. So work all the way in your last loop till you reach your stitch marker. So remember to not go inside the entire loop but on the last loop. And quite a weather we have here. It's very chilly plus very calming. We have been having a lot of rain this year, and I'm so grateful and glad that the weather is calm, especially on the month of May when it's quite humid and sunny. But unexpectedly and fortunately, we have a very calm weather this 2024. So one resolution that the year gave us is that soothing climate. I don't know about other countries, but in my country it's definitely very soothing, especially in the city I live. Like that, take off the stitch marker and make your slip stitch. And for this round, we are not going to work on any back loop or something. We're simply going to make our single crochet inside the entire loop. So let me just focus. Yes. So just like that, keep making your single crochet inside the whole stitch. Make sure to obviously put your stitch marker so that you have a recognition of where to put your stitch or slip stitch. So keep making your single crochet. So keep flattening the circle and try to keep your lid like this. The edges that we just made, we work on the back loop, so it should be somewhat like this. Don't worry, it doesn't make any sense at the moment, but the more you keep working on the lid, the more sense it'll make. It'll somewhat be like this, so like that. So keep working on your lid. So just go inside every stitch and keep working on your single crochet, just like that. So go inside the entire loop and work your single crochet. So when we are going to make 2 rounds of single crochet all the way towards our stitch marker, so keep making your single crochet until you reach your stitch marker. So yes, we're going to make our single crochet. So go inside every stitches and make your single crochet, just like that. So after you have finished your third row, it will start to look like a proper lid. And make sure to take your plastic canvas and take a shape of your lid to make sure that your lid is proper. And also, do not paste the lid now, just use the lid as your support just to check if the base of the canvas is proper or not, but elsewise this looks completely fine. And now we are going to make our slip stitch into every row on the bottom portion. We are done with our lid. It looks somewhat like that. So after we finish off our third single crochet row perfectly, then we are going to work on making our slip stitches. So finish off our third row with a slip stitch, and then we will begin to slip stitch into every single stitches, so it will start to take a proper shape. And after we are done making slip stitch on the bottom, we'll also make slip stitch on the top of our lid. So we'll begin our slip stitches. Take that plastic canvas and check that if it's properly fitted on our lid and it's taking the shape of our base. So we'll begin making our row of slip stitch, and it'll be only one row just to give that proper finishing edge or finishing look to our lid lid portion. So we'll just take 2 loops and pull through one loop from the other. That is our slip stitch, as simple as that. For people who are familiar with it, people who are not, you can just choose a slower mode and you can pause the video and you can see how I'm making those slip stitches for your own convenience. So we are done making our slip stitch round on the bottom portion of our lid, the edge we can call it so. So now it looks very proper, and now we will work on making slip stitch on the top portion of our lid as well. So I am taking my plastic canvas again and checking that the base is proper and secure, and I'm just gonna take that lid and try to put it above my cake box. How adorable. It's not even finished yet, and look how finished and proper it looks. Trust me, it's going to look very much better when we are done with the frostings as well. So now we're going to work on making slip stitches on the top portion as well. So make your slip stitch on the top portion as well. So this is how our cake is looking, quite proper. So I'm not happy with how the shape is on the bottom portion. It could be that I am pretty selective or pretty perfectionist at my work, but let me know in the comment box if it looks straight and it looks proper to you. To me it looks a little bit crooked, honestly, from my point of view. So now we are going to work on making slip stitches on top of our box. So we begin with where we finished off last. So I'm just going to take my crochet hook and go inside that very first loop. So make sure you're just taking that one loop on the top, these loop that you see on the top where you finished off your last row for the base. That's where you're gonna make your slip stitches. So I'll just take my yarn and I'll start making my slip stitches just like that. So grab my yarn like that. And if you want, you can also put a stitch marker to make sure that you do not lose your, and you can also take that tail and work over it so that you don't have to cut it off with your scissor later on or have any unfinished edges like that. So we'll begin by working on our slip stitches. So go inside that next hook and start working on your slip stitches just like that. Keep making your slip stitches all the way around your row. So I'm having a little bit of trouble here adjusting my first slip stitch. There you go, done our first slip stitch. If you want, you can put a hook or stitch marker there, or else you can just keep a track that you begin here where you have your this tail, and we will work all the way from here to here. So keep making your slip stitches just like that. Making sure that the tail is secure. You can work over the tail, or you can also not work over the tail. It's totally up to you how you want to work, but I would advise you to take the tail and work over it so that you do not have to later on cut that tail, or because if you sew that tail somewhere, then you might have trouble later on adjusting with it. So look, I am working over my tail, but I left it off. So if you want, you can also take your crochet hook and take that tail inside. So I'll do that later on. So for the moment, just keep working on your slip stitches on top of your lid like that. I'm having a little bit of trouble here adjusting with my hook. So it can get a little tricky, but make sure to keep track of your loops, of where you're working and where you should finish off. I am not putting a stitch marker or a stitch hook, but if you want, you can put it just for your assurance or surety that where you left off, exactly that's where you finish off making your slip stitch right here. So keep making your slip stitch all the way towards the end of the row. That's one crying dog. We have lots of dog here. Our neighbor is quite admirable and adores dogs. She's crazy about adopting street dogs. Such a kind lady. I give all my warm regards and heartful wishes to her. May God bless her, and may humanity be alive just the way she has kept it alive by taking care of abandoned dogs. So if you are kind enough to. Make sure to not buy expensive breed dogs, but to adapt them. So just like that, keep working on your slip stitches all the way towards your end of the row. So these are the loops that we are working on, these top loops. So when I have a little bit of crochet tension, my hands do shake, so ignore that. And after we are done making our slip stitches all the way till here, we'll come back and we'll work on the frosting. So keep making your slip stitches just like that. So when you're done working on your slip stitches all the way towards your top of your lid portion, so this is starting to take some shape. You can see that solid shape of your lid because we did a slip stitch on the bottom portion and also on the top portion. So this is now a very solid flattened shape lid. You can see it's very tight and secure lid. So I was hoping for my box to be secure as this, because there's an odd shape here which I don't like, although I have shown my box to other people as well and they have become quite fond of it and have received a lot of order till now. They really loved it because this is just the beginning of it. It's, to me, it's unfinished and it's nothing. To them it's adorable. So yeah, different people have different values, I get it. So we are done working on our lid. We will simply take that out and chop it off, so we do not need it anymore. And then with the help of our crochet hook, we will secure this tail. We'll take it inside our work. So just like that, just take your crochet hook, make sure to take that tail inside just like that, and also that tail that you see there, that one too, just like that, because this is the outer portion of your work, so you do not want to keep this messy. So just take your tails and then you can just take those tails and tie a knot to keep your work secure and clean, just like that. And then you can chop off your tails because you do not you do not wish to make it look unfinished also. So we'll just take our scissor and we'll chop it off, because now our work is good to go. So this is a little bit, yeah, that's more better. So now we will work on the frosting. Our lid is ready. Look how cute that looks, perfect. So now we'll work on the frosting on the top of our cake, and then we'll make a frosting on the top of our lid as well. So let's begin with the frosting part. So now we are going to make frosting on the top of our lid. Just like you can see, I am making a black forest cake box here. So we will make a white frosting. If you remember how I made the frosting on the bottom of my cake box, then I'm pretty sure this is just a piece of cake for you. So we will begin. I'll show you how to make the frosting. So we'll work on these front loop of our slip stitch that we made on the last row. These are the loops, so I'll just stick my needle and I'll show you, because the crochet hook is a little bit difficult to fit in. So this is where we'll work those front loops. Make sure to pause the video and check again and again. Alright, so I'll just take my crochet hook, and where I finished off making my last frosting, I'll just chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. All right, and then I'll yarn over twice. So we'll make 4 treble crochet inside that very same stitch where we went inside. So that is quite a trouble to adjust in such a small space, but you'll get a hang of it, don't worry. So do not finish your treble crochet, keep the loop on. So we'll make 3 more treble crochet inside that very same space. So 2, keep the loop, do not finish it. 2 more left inside that very same space. Go inside, keep making your treble crochet. Do not maintain the tension on your hook. Do not pull your hook too tight, making sure you do not break it accidentally. So 1 more left. Somehow squeeze inside that loop, go inside, and then just take out, pull 2, pull 2. You should have 5 loops. Then just take yarn over and take all the loops out, just like that, and then skip 1 chain, go inside the next chain like that on your top slip stitch that we made. So we will skip that one and we'll go into the next one like that. So here I'm having a quite little bit of trouble finding that slip stitch, so I'll just use my darning needle and go inside that slip stitch just like that. Use that darning needle and make it a little bit easier for me to go inside, for my crochet hook to adjust in. Just go inside, pull the white yarn from that stitch and finish off pulling off from the existing loop, making a slip stitch just like that. And now we will go inside our next stitch and make another slip stitch. So I'll take my darning needle again because I'm having quite a trouble going inside my slip stitches. So just like that. If you are having trouble going inside, then I will advise you to use a darning needle or something very small so that you can figure out your slip stitches. As of now, I have taken the tiniest hook, but still I'm having trouble to fit in and make my slip stitches. So just pull that loop out of your work like that. There you go. We have our frosting, cute little frosting. So keep making your frosting on the top just like that. So just like that. Make sure to, after you're done making 4 treble crochet, make sure to always skip 1 chain and then slip stitch into the next 2. So keep making your frosting all the way around until you reach towards all the way here. So I'll show you how to make your frosting. Keep following and keep adjusting your loop with the help of darning needle if it's too small or difficult to adjust in. So yeah, thanks to Shenda DIY for helping me to figure it out. Her videos are just way beyond perfection. So just like that, pull all the loops. Take your darning needle obviously to figure out that loop to where, so skip that loop and go inside the next loop for making your slip stitch just like that. Make it more adjustable to go inside. just go inside and make your slip stitch. Oops. Like just like that. And then into the next stitch, make your slip stitch again. So we made here, so we'll go inside. We'll go inside here. A little bit difficult to just like that. Go inside the next stitch. Make your slip stitch. There you go. So keep making your frosting all the way till here. So this is how your top frostings will look like. How cute, right? So I have used white frosting because I'm making a black forest cake. So after you have finished your entire row of frosting, we will just slip stitch. So we'll slip stitch that last frosting with the first frosting. So just go inside that very first frosting of yours, wherever you can adjust your hook. I believe to have go somewhat there, and then you can just take one loop out of there and then just pull that loop out of there. So you just take out your strand long enough and then chop it off. And then now we're going to make our second layer of frosting. So to make your second layer of frosting, you can start right from the lower portion. So we'll make somewhat here our second frosting. If you want, you can also make in the bottom part. So I will make my frosting right after the white ones. I'll make it here wherever I can adjust my loops. So to make our next row of frosting, I'm taking this chocolate color and we are going to work on the back loop of our slip stitch. So now the weather has become a little bit sunny, although there are chances of rain. I wouldn't doubt on that. So I'm just going to take my chocolate color and pull it out of that back loop. Simple as that. And then we are going to work on it. So I will start by chaining 3. 1, 2, make sure to secure that tail, 3, and on that very same loop we are going to yarn over once and we are going to make our double crochet. So half double crochet, no, unfinished double crochet. All right, so what does unfinished double crochet means? It's very simple. You do not finish the double crochet, you just pull 2 loops and keep the other 2 loops on your hook, just like that. On that very same loop we'll make 3 double crochet. All right, just like that. 1, and then make another one. So we have 2, and then pull the other 2 loops. So we have our 3 unfinished double crochet. So pull all the loops together, just like that, and go ahead and make a slip stitch after skipping 1 stitch from that back loop of your slip stitch. So skip that stitch and go into that next stitch wherever it seems you can go inside. So skip that stitch and go inside the back loop. So I'm having a little bit of trouble finding that back loop. That moment, found it. It's going to be a little difficult finding your back loops, but it's going to be easy, so do not worry. Just like that. And go inside your next loop and make another slip stitch possible. So chain 3 again in that very same stitch where you finished off making your last slip stitch, and then go ahead and make your 3 unfinished double crochet into that loop, just like that. That very same stitch, 2 and 3, just like that. Then pull off all the loops and then just go inside your next, skip one stitch and then go inside the next stitch and make a slip stitch, just like that. See, you're going to have trouble finding the back loops, trust me, which at the moment I am having. So in order to find the back loop, what you can do is you can hold this base tightly like this, and then just squeeze in your hook and skip one chain, and wherever you see your next chain, just go inside that chain and make your slip stitch, just like that. Just like that. Yes, wherever you can adjust. So proceed with making more. So if you want, you can also make 3 unfinished double crochet or 4 unfinished double crochet like I'm making. Totally depends on you. Okay, so this white yarn is quite fluffy. That could be the reason that these became so fluffy, and the brown one being not so fluffy. So don't worry, it depends on how much of unfinished double crochet you're making into that space. So keep making your unfinished double crochet all the way around you reach here. Okay, I do not wish to strengthen this video, so keep going back and choose a playback mode or slower version and keep watching my video until it all makes sense. So you can also comment down below as to where you are having query or having trouble. I'll surely reach out to you and help you out. So rest assured, just like that, go inside, skip one stitch, go inside to the next and make your slip stitch if you're quite having the trouble. With the help of a darning needle also you can find that back loop, or you can use the smaller version of hook just like me. If you're using a smaller version of hook and still you cannot, you're having trouble finding your loop, you can always use a darning needle. So that is my advice to you, to use a darning needle. This is awfully funny and hilarious how I'm struggling with the yarn. So keep making your chocolate frosting until you reach all the way till here. After you believe to have finished your chocolate frostings, you can just, as usual, go inside your first frosting that you make, the last loop of your first frosting, and just simply make a slip stitch. Take out a loop, go through that last frosting loop that you just finished, and then just chop off this yarn. Take it out like that, and then just just chop it off. There you go. If you want, with help of your crochet hook, you just take it out like that. Anything is possible if you have a great set of crochet hooks. So just take out your loop, and you can tie these two together. So now we are going to work on that frosting which we are going to put on the top of our lid. So to begin, we will make a magic circle. So to make a magic circle, take that loop. You can also go in the beginning of the video and check how to make a magic circle, and you can also check out my videos. I have uploaded a lot of videos on how to make a magic circle, but still I'll show you. Take that loop and twist it, then go and take that loop on your thingy, and then there you go, your magic circle. So inside this circle we will make 6 single crochet total. So chain 1 and then make 6 single crochet. 1 2 3 4 5 6. And after you're done, close that circle. Obviously, go inside your very first stitch that you see there, and just make your slip stitch inside that. If you want, you can just go inside that very first loop, whichever is visible to your naked eye. Just go like that. So if you have trouble finding it, you can just take your darning needle and find it, just like that. There you go, you have it. And then we'll chain 2, obviously. And now it's a little bit tricky but also very simple if you just follow. So we'll make total of 6 double crochet inside every stitches. So if you have, let's say, 6, so 6 into 6, obviously 36. So you should have 36 double crochet total by the end of your row, obviously. So keep making your 6 double crochet inside every stitches, so which will sum up to your total of 36 double crochet, just like that. Keep making 6 double crochet inside every stitch, like how I'm making here. If you want, you can also put a stitch marker, but this is our very first and last row, so you do not need to. 1 2 3 and 4. So make 2 more inside that very same stitch. 5 and 6, just like that. Like that, and then into our very next stitch make 6 more. So inside every stitches you're going to be making 6 like this. And here, cream, so make sure to make it all like that. So go inside that very first stitch where you started off. Do not confuse yourself with the slip stitch, a fake stitch, sorry. Just make your slip stitch. There you go, and chop it off, obviously, just like that. So we are left with the last portion of our cake, and that is our cherry. I must say this is the longest video I have ever made. So we are working on the cherry. So to work on the cherry, you will make a magic circle like always. So make a magic circle. You know how to make. Okay, start by making 10 single crochet. If you want, you can also make a double crochet. So I'm making a single crochet. So making exactly 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So go inside that very first chain and make your slip stitch. I'm having quite a hard trouble going inside that chain. I hate the texture of this yarn, but I've got nothing to do. I have to work with it. So now we will chain 2, and then we'll make an increase by making 2 single crochet inside every stitch, just like that. If you want, you can also put a stitch marker, or maybe not, totally up to you. So I'm having a hard time here finding the stitches. Like I said, I really do not like the texture of this yarn. I'll just go to shop and buy a proper red color. This is a little bit synthetic yarn, which I do not like. I'm more of a cotton yarn girl. Cotton yarn girl, what's that? Okay, enough of talking bullshit. So we are going to make an increase for 2 more rounds. I mean, not increase, so we will have total of your 20, total of your 20 after we make an increase. And after we are done making our increase, what we'll do is we will make 2 more rounds of 20 crochet. So after we are done with making an increase, I'll show you what to do. So make 2 single crochet into every round. So go inside that first stitch and make a slip stitch, and then we will just make a single crochet in every round, so total of 20, like that. First we will begin with chaining 1, and then we'll proceed with making single crochet into every stitches. So I do not have a clue of where is this loop coming from. Like I said, I hate the texture of this yarn, so difficult to work with. Really do not know why I bought this synthetic yarn. That is the reason I do not wish to buy my yarn from online, because sometimes I make a silly mistake of believing people in online. So we must check the details and buy them. There you go, found it. So keep making your single crochet into every stitch for 2 more rounds, just like that. So after we are done making 2 rounds of single crochet, this is somehow it will start to look like. And now we will do our rounds of decrease. So to do our rounds of decrease, simply take that. I'll switch to a more smaller version of hook. Having quite a lot of trouble with this hook. I'll take a more smaller version of hook. Honestly, after working with wooden hooks, they are simply the best. So just take those back loops, or if you want you can also take a whole loop. If you want to make an invisible decrease, then take the back loop, or else you can just take the whole loop. It doesn't matter, and just take out a loop. Oops, why is this not focusing? Okay, focused. So just take out a loop like that, and do not single crochet. So take out a loop from your next stitch like that, and do your single crochet. There you go. By the end of the round you should have almost 10 stitches if I am very calculative. So if you want you can just put a stitch marker there. So I'm going to put a stitch marker afterwards. At the moment I'll just make my next decrease, and later on if you want you can just take this tail and you can sew it, or you can also use it as your stuffing. Okay, so like that. So make a decrease, take your stitch marker and put it there. In your last decrease like that. So keep making your decrease just like that. Take out 2 loops and simply pull through all of them. So that's how your cherry is going to form. I really want to sing a song because I am on the verge of completing this video. Honestly, I have never made such a long project in this channel itself ever, or so. Maybe in the future I might make some long project. Let me know in the comment box if you want a miniature version of this. I was thinking about making a miniature version of cake, like a keychain or so. So let me know. So make a decrease for the next round as well. So there's our round of decrease. So this is the last decrease, and we will make one more round of decrease. So after you're done with your last decrease for the round, just go inside, take off that stitch marker, go inside that, and obviously make a slip stitch. I really hate the texture of this yarn, and this yarn itself must hate me too, because it's not at all, what should I say, helpful, cooperative. Anyhow, so this is the texture of our cherry. I hope it does look like a cherry. Okay, and now we'll make our last decrease for the round. So just go inside like that into our stitches and make our decrease like that. So I think you should make about 5 decreases if I'm sure. So that's our number 2 decrease, followed by our number 3, and our number 4, followed by our last decrease is number 5. So now we are ready to do the stuffing. She's just like that. Quite a long video, huh? So there we go, done with the cherry. Just take our stuffing and put the stuffing. Take the stuffing and just put it. So I'll just take the stuffing, just put that like that. Okay, so make sure to keep a gap so that you can put the stuffing like that. Just take our stuffing, put it inside. So I'm having a hard time putting my stuffings inside. I'm quite not sure if it really wants to go inside. Oh, I had a miserable time of my life putting those stuffing inside this small miniature cherry. So I've put stuffing in so many projects till now. You can go in my channel and you can check out so many origami projects I have made, starting from watermelon keychain to cats to whatnot, small miniature stuff. But putting stuffing inside this cherry is like a whole other level of challenge. So now we're just going to take that and we're going to close our cherry top with the help of our darning needle, and then we are going to put it on the top like that. So we're also going to make the strand of our cherry. So how are we going to do that? Make sure to secure your cherry like that. You can put that tail all the way towards your down portion like that. And if you want, you can just chop off the yarn and just tie them like that, and you can just chop them off like that. This tail, if you want, you can keep it, the long one. The short one, you can cut it. I'm gonna cut it. So now we're going to make that cherry strand, which is quite simple to make. Just take your yarn, cut it long like that. Make a knot in the front. So how many times you want to make? Just like that. Keep making a knot in the front. Shouldn't be too tight, shouldn't be too loose. Should look like the cherry bit. Just to make it like a cherry bit. Ooh, someone is gossiping. Oh, it's none of my concern. And just chop off that top part like that. And then just get it on your darning needle. And then get it on your top of the cherry. I would like this portion to be my top of the cherry because it looks quite perfect. Yeah, just like that. Keep it like that. Long. Yes. Not too short. Please, not too short. A little bit longer. Not too long also. Yeah, that's perfect size. Take out your hook and tie these two together, making sure those are secure. And like that. Not too tight. There we have it. Our cherry is ready. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, like that. There you go. Cherry is ready. Cherry, cherry, cherry. Going through the... Shh, shh. Okay, there's our delicious cake. Time to decorate the top portion of our cake. First, we will just get that red cherry on our white cream, just like that. Also that one too. So whenever I'm having a crochet tension, my hands happen to shake. Bless me so that I recover soon. I need everyone's blessing, especially my mom's. So yeah, just tie those securely and then it's good to go. Like that. Ooh, look at that. That looks very edible. Very, very edible. So I'm just gonna take my crochet hook and just take those top portion, get it all inside. My hands are really shaking very badly. Please ignore, and I am really sorry. Crochet, it's all the crochet tension, nothing else. So tie those together, secure them, and then you can chop them off. So I've noticed one thing: when I'm in a hurry, that is the moment I happen to do my work much more properly and leniently and cleaner. So chop these off, we do not need them. And then I am going to take a glue gun and paste my plastic canvas like that. Wow, yum yum yum. Our cake is ready. You can put anything inside. For example, I am going to put my bottle of lotion, or let's say I put a pair of earring maybe, and then I will just close my lid, my Black Forest box. So to make these frostings, what I have done is I have just chained 100 and then I have just put it with glue gun, like cream filling. As simple as that, nothing else. So let me go, comment down in the comment box and let me know if you like my Black Forest cake, and if you wish to make a more smaller version of this or so, how would you make it, and much more. So like that, if you want, you can finish off you can make one more base and you can just cover it if you do not wish to show your plastic canvas and wish to make it more cleaner and more cuter. All right, bye bye, tata, take care guys.